For me, the spaces on the property start with the turnoff. When you turn off the main road, and it's about another 15-minute drive on the road that leads to the front gate. And that starts to cultivate a desire within. This desire starts to become, I wonder what I'm going to. Is it okay for me to be here? And then that can take off into like wonder and imagination.
Everything started, I was visioning to have like a space that you can do yoga, just meditate, like go and contemplate. And I wanted to be really close to the river. And I sat down there and I was looking with one of my workers and he was like, did you know there's like some big rocks in here? And I was like, no, yeah, just right here. So he started like uncover them. There was full of bushes, but we already decided the place. And then all these massive rocks around it, they were like surrounding us. And I was like, okay, this is a manifestation that this place should be here.
I'm Jake, founder and CEO of Imiloa, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to our newest property, Verdesana by Imiloa. Today we travel to Verdesana to meet its founder and the son of a Costa Rican man who had a vision of a regenerative future over a half a century ago. So all this land that we're looking at, there were no trees there. Is that right?
Yeah.
50 years ago, what would have I seen if I would have looked up at that?
Like cattle fields, grasslands everywhere. And the problem is that it was really hard to regenerate. People back then used many chemicals to introduce this grass that is not from here. So it was really, really hard to fight against that grass, So it took years and experimentation and organic fertilizers in order to grow back this and to heal the land. The soil was in such bad conditions that nothing worked out. So my father experimented with so many trees until he found this cypress that it apparently works really well in soils that are very damaged. So that's how everything started. It helped and attracted different species of trees. It attracted more birds and they helped to distribute different seeds around the area. So it was like a combination, like nature and humans working together. Many years ago, I was really struggling in a life crisis. I was depressed and having all these emotions around it. And I was in the process of building Verdesana too. And I didn't have a name for it. And I went to visit a friend back in the jungle in the Osa Peninsula. I did a hike and just being in contact with nature, and I saw green everywhere, as we see here. And I felt that I was healed somehow, I was like, okay, this is it. I knew this was like that I healed through the green of nature. So that's what Verdesana means, is green healing.
What this partnership has allowed us to think about as Imiloa is how we want to be an intercontinental institute. How do we actually want to build this on every continent? We want to be in alignment with nature and with the people that were already there. In the 3-4 years of living at Imiloa, in that jungle down by the beach, I started to recognize that I could only be healed really from my anxiety, from my desire to be accepted, from my loneliness. I could only be healed in nature. So much people come to the jungle or come to Verdesana with an intention. What people don't realize is when you set an intention for your life to transform, or for your relationship to transform, or for your work to transform, the jungle is going to bring everything up for you to be cleared. Everything that's in the way of you and that intention is going to come up to be cleared, because you have to clear it before you can actually live into the future that you want to create. So places, vortexes, I guess I would call this a vortex, places like Verdesana by Imiloa and Imiloa Institute, it's this raw, untouched, uncurated nature. It just wakes something up inside. And so it made a lot of sense to keep it healthy green, green healing, Verdesana, because it's exactly what people are going to get when they come here. It's really less of a name and it's more of a calling. I'd love to know more about the principles of why the cypress trees grow so well here and how it's actually reflective of regenerative agriculture and regenerative leadership.
Having these trees that are foreign to this area, over the years they are having like a connection with the rest of the trees. So what it's creating is like this natural forest that is now like a combination between like foreigners and natives, and this is what we have right here, and that's what I love to create too, like the combination that we can have like international community, where we have respect to one another. And that's what is happening with the cypress that is being planted here for a purpose, with purpose, but right now is attracting all this wildlife back again, and we're using the wood for constructions like in a very sustainable cabins, and also replacing with new fruit trees, native trees. So it's creating a whole ecosystem that it wasn't here before.
The minute we at Imiloa started introducing these ideas of regenerative leadership, it's when the company took off. And when we just started to like regenerate and like we can create an organization that works for everyone, we can bring wholeness into the evolutionary purpose and wholeness into the organization.
I actually was like really inspired by Imiloa. I went to visit like a couple of years ago, and I came back with so much inspiration. The way I saw where people were treated, the team, like were like so happy, always smiling, connecting with the clients. And it was like, I want this for Verdesana too, like I want this connection. And I think it's the way to go, like when we can create like a different environment that people work with, and they will get like more respect also for the surroundings, nature. Like it's a combination of so many values that I really share with Imiloa, that now it makes so much sense, this partnership that we're doing, and that's what I believe in.
When people are met with a sense of love, it opens the heart to begin exploring what perhaps they've been unwilling or unable to explore. And when you come here, it's a difference felt. You can feel the difference. I believe that transformation can happen in an instant. But in order to transform, we must discover something new about ourselves, about another human being, or about the world around us. We must discover something new. So when people come here, the entire campus has been built from a place of discovery. It's inviting you to discover something new so that you can have that transformation, which can happen in an instant. But the discovery is the key piece. And so every little detail is designed so that people can come here to discover, so that the heart can open, and so that you can really feel what it feels like to be loved on by nature and by animals, and to reconnect with that childlike wonder that we all shared as children. You get to feel it again here at Verdesana.